Do you know what trauma is and how to deal with it correctly? Hey, Jason here, and we're still talking about attitude and success. However, today we're going to go into a little bit of a side street, take a little detour, and we're going to talk about trauma. I had a download while I was getting my massage today, and it really spoke to me that I should speak on this area. And one of the things, if you've been watching me for a while, is I like to define words. I believe one of the biggest problems with the world today is that we do not define the words that we use. We're using definitions from previous generations or other people, and the truth is they do not apply to the world we live in now. Most of us are living in the past and hoping for a future experience, and we're actually ignoring the present moment on a daily basis. You'll be surprised how many people don't realize how technologically advanced we are as people, as a society, how much safer the world is, also how smaller the world is. And so this is why I want to always recommend defining the words, looking up the definition and then defining them for yourself also. So trauma, and this is from the Webster's Dictionary. It says a deeply distressing or disturbing experience. Which, okay, yes, it's a disturbing experience, but it's still not really breaking down what is trauma. One of the things that I believe in is, and I believe in holistic health, mind, body, spirit. You have to know how to heal yourself. So from that definition, a deeply distressing or disturbing experience, what does that really mean? Like sometimes being in traffic is deeply distressing or disturbing. So what does that really mean? And then the second definition of it was physical injury, which, yes, you can have a physical injury which can be traumatic. However, let me break down to what trauma means to me, and I'm going to give you a personal example from me and from my recent experience. So for me, while I was doing this and I was writing it down, and I wrote this definition down a couple of days ago. That's what's funny that I had to download to talk about this. I was doing some research, and I was like, what is trauma? 'Cause I was really trying to figure it out. So essentially what happened was I was doing something. I can't remember. I was doing something, and I just started thinking about Chantel. She just crossed my mind. And the truth is, she crosses my mind every day. I don't think a lot of people really understand the life we lived. It was me and her 24/7. We were traveling the world together. We were living the world together. We were building this billion-dollar company together. We were building this dream life together. So, there's not a moment go by that I don't think about it. So every day is a traumatic day for me. However, there's better days. There's ways to get better. And this is the thing, even after I left from the military, went to the Iraq War and everything, my psychologists and psychiatrists, they wasn't talking to me about these things. They were sitting here telling me the way I'm thinking is wrong. You're thinking bad. You need to think better. And it's like, okay, so how do I think? When I was trying to get deeper into really understanding, okay, so how do I get better? They couldn't give me the answers. And then when I started realizing how to reverse things, heal my body on my own, I started realizing, you know what? Maybe I should go to people who have experience in the stuff that I want to get help in, instead of talking to people who just have some couple of letters in front of their name. Because at the end of the day, academic knowledge is not great at all. Let's be honest. How many people have been how many people in the world's richest went to school? How many of them went and studied? Most of them are dropouts. Most of them are self-made billionaires and trillionaires, if you're talking about some of the Saudi people. And it is what it is. I know some people get mad at me when I talk down on education, but education ain't helping many people. Statistically, it is proven education is not helping people. There's really no point anybody to ever go to school anymore or to go to a university anymore. That's my personal opinion, and the numbers prove it. Or we would have more successful people in the world. Let's just be honest. Because the stuff that I'm digging in here, the stuff that I've been researching and studying and talking about, it has gotten me a hell of a lot closer to reaching my goals of being a billionaire than any of my formal education has taught me. I am a proud college dropout. I'm sorry. I did get my associates, but I dropped out of the bachelor's program, and I'm proud of that because I started realizing it wasn't getting me where I needed to be. It was wasting my time. And so what is a traumatic event? And so I said a traumatic event is a short or long-term erasure of the self-identity, and it will reload a previous identity image. So self-identity, and what I mean by that, that's the picture of who we have as ourselves. How do we see ourselves? Each and every last one of us have a picture in our mind. It's stored in our brain somewhere or somewhere in our body of who we are. That controls a lot of our natural habits, things that we don't have to think about. Like you have the self-identity of someone who wears shoes. So you put on shoes without thinking about it. Like really think about that. If you have the self-identity of someone who wears a lot of name brand clothes, that's your self-identity. You don't think twice about it. And if you put on clothes that wasn't name brand or what you were used to, you would not feel like yourself. And so, to give you a prime example, January 24th at midnight, January 23rd at midnight, or 24th at midnight, I don't know, whichever day. But that was the day I woke up in the middle of the night to Cece passing away. Like a lot of people don't realize, like we were in the bed together, I woke up. That was a very traumatic event. It was just me and her. And then after everything went through, it was me and her for about good 3 or 4 hours until not the coroners, but the funeral home came and stuff like that. It was a very traumatic event. Everybody's going to agree with me on that. Like I'm not looking for sympathy on this, but like hear me out. That was a very traumatic event. What most people don't know and understand is I've been reliving that event for the past, I think it's 7-8 months now. You know, literally about a week ago, I was finally able to realize, who am I? And because I lost my self-identity, and how I knew I lost my self-identity after everything happened. If you knew I was in the United States, I was in Washington State, Ocean Shores, out there with my buddy Duncan and the family, man, loving the life, and appreciate everything that they did for me. But also, shout out to everybody in Ocean Shores, lovely community, great people out there. Can't wait to go back out there, but I'm not coming in the winter again. And so when I was there, as we were, I remember the one day I told him, I was like, I don't recognize myself anymore. I had looked in the mirror, and the person looking back at me, I did not recognize. I did not know that the person was bigger than what I was used to seeing. None of it was my self-image. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't know if I was dying, and I didn't know what was going on, because it was a very spiritual awakening moment, plus just an unknown moment. It was a very increasing my awareness of some parts of humanity and of this human experience. So when I told him that, it scared me because I was kind of afraid. I remember looking in the mirror and I was like, who the fuck is this looking back at me? Like, who is this person? This is not me. And I'm gonna be honest with you, even up until being in South Africa, I have not had my self-image. My self-identity was of a previous self-identity. I caught myself that my self-identity was going back to, not to the 600-pound person, but the person in between. Like the person you didn't get to see who was losing the weight and went to the real healthy person. And when I caught that, I was like, whoa, this is not my self-identity. This is not me. And I had to reload the image that I wanted of me. And so how did I reload that image? This is what you're probably gonna be really confused about. So it was really simple. For me, I reloaded that image by started getting back into the habitual routine of the person that I was before Chantel passed away. So that means I get up in the morning, I meditate for 2 hours. So if I get up at 4 in the morning, I meditate to 6. I get up and I do an exercise routine. I do an ab routine. I do push-ups. I do my green smoothies, which you see here. And also I do intermittent fasting. That was something that I haven't been doing since Chantel passed away. And so I had to reload manually my self-identity. And I had to do it by falling back on my habits of the person I was. So now let's say if you're a person and you don't have a self-identity previously loaded of who you want to be. So if you want to actually start changing your self-identity and get away from it, because here's the thing. Let's say if you're a person who's been struggling with losing weight, dieting is a traumatic event for you. Like, don't think trauma has to be me waking up to my wife passing away. Trauma doesn't have to also be me going to war. Trauma can be anything. Anything can be a traumatic event. If you were in an accident, if you witnessed an accident, if you saw a crime happening, hell, if you just saw an animal just drop dead in front of you, it can be a traumatic event for you. Like, so don't belittle your personal situation. And so I want to really talk to people with weight loss issues because I've been there. You know, I didn't get to 600 pounds overnight. Like, hey, it was a struggle, and there was a lot of dieting in there, and there was a lot of negative self-talk and a lot of feeling like a failure. But I didn't quit. I kept going through. And so if you're struggling with losing weight and you want to actually get the self-identity of someone who can lose weight easily or release weight, like I say, you have to change your habits. It doesn't matter what you're doing, you must change it. And there's two habits that you need to change. The first one needs to be your mindset around eating. Not eating, your mindset around eating. You have to reprogram yourself on what is healthy. So one of the things I would recommend is go find someone who is a fitness person. Don't go to the extreme. You can go somewhere with just eats a nice, healthy lifestyle. It doesn't have to be plant-based. It can be whatever you want. But someone who does it and they're showing you, okay, living this lifestyle, this is the healthy weight they're at or the body image that they're at that you would like to have also. And so that's the first one. You want to change your mindset around it because you have to develop new habits. And habits are a paradigm. They've been programmed in us. We usually do most of them habitually. Most of our living experience is habitually. Like, we don't think about 99% of the things we actually do. Just think about it. Like, if you drive a car, do you think about putting it in, cutting the ignition on, putting it in gear, hitting on the brake? You just go, you get in and you just do it. You don't think about it. It don't take any brain power to think about how to drive if you already know how to drive. It's habitually programmed inside your body. I mean, you can literally, and I've done this plenty of times where there was times I ended up pulling up at my house back in DeSoto, and I was like, damn, how'd I get home so quick? Because you can even black out and just be driving habitually because it's all in your muscle memory. Your body is programmed to do it. And so the second thing you want to actually do to change, if you really wanting to start lose weight, is now you want to actually do one healthy thing each day. Commit to it. One healthy thing each day. It can be exercise, it can be eating. I personally say you should do eating because anything dealing with your health, 80% of it is going to come from what you eat. One of the biggest misconceptions we have in this world is like, oh, there's so many pre-genetic conditions and all of that. My family genetics. No, you have the family eating history. We all have a family food home. And if you want to break some of those family patterns, break the family food home, and I guarantee you'll start seeing results that everybody else in your family are not getting. I'm living proof of it. And so I hope you got some value from this. Also, just remember, man, like, attitude is one of the most important things. Like, I still work on this on a daily basis. I still do things. I still implement things. I still try new things. I'm still practicing on how to think better, how to be more positive, how to be happier. Like, really think about this. All of this is the one thing that we have in control of on this planet is our attitude, how we perceive the moments that we're going through. And think about it. Most of us have had horrible experiences. Most of us have been in negative experiences. It fucking sucks. So if you have control to not be as in many negative experiences, why not start implementing these things? How many times have we beat ourselves up financially? How many times have we beat ourselves up because, oh, nobody loves me, I can't get a relationship, there's no good men out there, there's no good women out there? Bullshit. There's plenty of good people out there. I mean, even after what happened to me, I'm running into good people, I just don't want them. That's a totally different thing. And also, like, you know, how many times have you been beating yourself up for your weight? Like, oh, one day I'm gonna lose weight. Well, one day can be today. However, you have to start changing your attitude around it, and then you will be able to accomplish that. So I hope you got some value from this, and have a great day.